Hi everyone, this is Dave from Geekanoids and this is my Q&A session video for Tuesday the 28th of September 2010. Now, in this video I'm going to be answering some of your tech related questions from my video that I posted on the 14th of September 2010. The previous Q&A video I had to answer some of your questions via sort of text response or in the comments of the video just to catch up because I'm getting so many questions. But this one I concentrate on those questions that you posted on the 14th of September and also some questions I received via email. Now, before I start answering the questions, I'm just going to ask you guys, the viewers, a big favour. Now, I don't normally ask for views like this, but I just wanted to point out two videos that are on my channel. The first one is my iPod Touch second generation review, and it's almost at 750,000 views. And I want to get that up to 1 million views before the end of the year. So if you can tell your friends about it, tweet about it, post about it on other websites, and if you haven't watched it yourself already, then click on the link you can see on your screen to take you to that second gen iPod Touch review. And then a very relevant video to that is that I've recently posted a full review of the 4th generation iPod Touch, the one that now sports this HD video capture and also the front facing camera as well, and you can see a link to that on your screen. So if you haven't watched that one, then please do watch my review of the 4th gen iPod Touch. Now on with this Q&A session, and we're going to kick things off with a question from V. Leov. What got you into tech, and do your children like tech? Well, first part of that question, the main thing that got me into tech was my graphic design job. I used to do a full-time graphic design job, albeit now I'm part-time graphic design because I concentrate some of my time on YouTube. And using the Mac within that job and scanners, plate makers and things like that within the printing industry really got me interested in tech. And then as I gradually moved over from being more and more interested in tech, that's when I got into YouTube. I love everything to do with the Apple Mac range of computers, photography, music, MP3 players, so a wide range of gadgets, as you know through watching my videos. So fantastic question. Are my children into tech? Well, yeah, I've got a son and a daughter. Both of them have their own computers, very much into the Mac scene, photography, love their iPods, love gaming as well. So yeah, very much so into tech, and they take a great interest into what I do as well, which is really encouraging. So fantastic question. Next question comes from Gumball Tech. I'm wondering how you got in-stream ads to work. Did they just start working automatically? Now this is to do with me being a YouTube partner, and you can specify what sort of adverts appear either within or before your videos start. And it's purely a tick box. If you go in to edit your video and then scroll all the way down to the bottom where you've got some advertising options, you can actually select to play in-stream videos or pre-roll ads as well. You can't control really which adverts appear, that's all done by sort of keyword matching, but you can control whether you fill your video with adverts or whether you just have a few adverts or just the one in the top right hand corner. So you can control how many adverts appear in your videos. Next one is from iAppleSwim. What's your GameCentre nickname? Well, I've got a few, but the main one I use is Davo Mr. Mac, so feel free to add me within GameCentre on your iOS devices, and if I get time to play a game, then I will certainly join in with you guys, the viewers. The next question is from 5 Mystery. How much do you earn per month from the YouTube Partnership Programme? Well, that's quite a private question, but I'm pretty transparent about what I earn out of these things. I don't earn a fantastic amount. Some months I might get £100, some months it might top out at £200, £250. I put a lot of effort into it. I think that's quite a small amount for the amount of effort I put in, but it's certainly a bit extra pocket money. And some of that goes on buying the odd gadget as well to review and to enjoy, obviously, but it's certainly not a fantastic earner. Now, some of these YouTube partners that seem to get 1 million views on their videos, I think they're doing very well and earning some quite substantial amounts of money. So fantastic question, and I'm glad that you asked it, and I hope that sort of answers your question too. Now I'm going to switch over to the questions that I've received via my iPhone application. And before I start this section of questions, I just want to remind everybody that my iPhone app is available in the iTunes App Store, and it's just recently been updated to version 1.1. And what that adds is actually landscape orientation on the video, so you can see those full screen now. And it also adds landscape orientation to the Twitter client on there, and it also just gives some tweaks, sort of performance tweaks for the iPhone 4 mainly. So please do go to the iTunes App Store or the App Store on your iPod Touch or iPhone and download the Geekanoids app. You can find it just by searching for Geekanoids. So now on with the Q&A questions that I received via the iPhone application. The first one is from Dominic, and he's saying he's got an iPod Touch 3G 8GB 2 months ago. I'm wondering whether I should upgrade to the 4G. I'm not really someone who has to have the newest things on the market. Should I upgrade? Well, Dominic, I have replied to you personally, but for the purpose of this video, if you don't need to have the latest and supposedly greatest iPod, then no need to upgrade. Your iPod Touch 3G works perfectly fine. It's a very good performer, great for games, great for music, great for surfing and email and things like that, so no need to upgrade. The only thing that should force you to upgrade is if you really want one of those new features. And I think the three main new features on the new 4th generation iPod Touch are the rear-facing camera that's capable of taking photos and also capturing the HD video, the front-facing camera for doing those FaceTime video calls, and also the high-resolution retina display. Now, if you want one of those three new features, then yeah, it's a very worthwhile upgrade. If you can live without them, then stick with your iPod Touch 3rd generation. So great question. Next question comes from Shane. Shane's asking, can I do a house tour video please? Well, that is something I will consider doing. I have done desk tours before. I probably wouldn't do a whole house tour because I like to keep some things private in my life, but certainly where gadgets are concerned, I think it's a very good idea for me to show you around what other tech I've got in my house. So yeah, that's certainly something to look out for on the channel in the future. Next question came from Zafir. And also, you have to excuse me if I pronounce your name wrong, but Shahrukh also asked the same question. And it's basically asking why I haven't updated the wallpapers or the free wallpapers that I give away with the iPhone application. Now, the free wallpapers that are available for the iPod Touch, the iPhone and the iPad are completely free, but they're only updated once a month. So on the first day, or it might slip over to the second day, but certainly the very beginning of each month, you'll find that when you go into that section on my iPhone app, you will see a new wallpaper. So thanks very much for that question, but it's only going to be once a month for the new wallpapers. Next question comes from Seamus, and Seamus is asking, is the RebelTouch Devil a good case? Now I'm assuming this is a case for the iPod Touch. I haven't actually reviewed it, so I can't really comment on it, but if any of the viewers out there have used the RebelTouch Devil case, then please head over to my main channel page and post a comment on there as to what your thoughts are about the case, if it's good, if it's comfortable to use, easy to fit, etc, etc. So if you can perhaps answer Seamus' question through my channel page, that would be really helpful for this particular viewer. Next question is from Michael. I need a software that is really good for editing photos on the PC. What do you recommend? Easy one for me to answer this. I've used Adobe Photoshop for many years, and I would suggest Adobe Photoshop, or if that's a little bit out of your budget, then look at Photoshop Elements, which has just been upgraded to version 9, which adds in some really nice new features. And I would look at either one of those two. They're sort of the industry standard, and Photoshop Elements gives you a lot of the features of the full-blown Photoshop application without the expense. So thanks very much for that question. Next question is from Chris. Do you think some of iLife's other programs, such as GarageBand, will make it to the iPhone 3GS? Just wanted to know your thoughts, as iMovie is available now. It'd be amazing to have GarageBand on the move. Well, as we all know, you can get iMovie on the iPhone, and you can also get Pages as well, which is a great application to use on your iOS device. As for GarageBand, I think that is a fantastic question actually, and a very valid one for Apple to look at. They've given us iMovie on the iOS devices for creating movies whilst we're out and about, so why not give us more control over audio? So I think that is fantastic. I know Apple do watch my videos occasionally because they do loan me equipment, so listen up Apple, if you are watching this video, GarageBand on the iOS device, that'd be absolutely fantastic. If you're not already working on it, get started on it now. So fantastic question, Chris, and I certainly hope that does appear on one of the devices soon. Next one is from Josh, and he's asking, are you glad the iPod Nano 6th gen has lost the scroll wheel? Well, that's a really good question. If you've been checking my channel, you'll have seen that I did a unboxing and product tour and then a full review of the new 6th gen Nano, and I'm a little bit disappointed personally that it lost its scroll wheel. I liked the form factor of the 5th gen iPod Nano, where you at least had that video recording in there and video playback, and we lost those two features in the new 6th gen, and it feels a little bit small for me to use comfortably because you have to really sort of hold it. It's quite fiddly to hold, and a tiny little touchscreen, so a little bit disappointed. What I quite like the idea of perhaps is the same size iPod Nano, but with that full face being a touchscreen, and maybe even making it really funky and giving us a touch scroll wheel, so keeping the same sort of interface but letting us touch the bottom portion of the screen, and giving us maybe a second choice of filling it all up with icons as well. So if you're into the old school type thing, you could flick the display to display that virtual scroll wheel, or flick it again to have the full screen of icons. So yeah, very good question, and I personally, a little bit disappointed that it changed to the tiny little touchscreen. Last question for this session is from Tom. Will you or Supertecnoboff update the iPhone app and its icon for the new retina display? Well, very good question, and thanks again for that. The Geekanoids app is not available for the retina display at the moment, and it's certainly something that I'll look into, updating the graphics and the icon for the new retina display. Something that will definitely be coming is a universal app which will scale up slightly differently, or have certainly a different user interface for the iPad. That's something that will definitely be worked on, and hopefully, although I can't guarantee it, but hopefully that'll be out before the end of the year. So thanks to everyone for their questions. Please do keep watching the Geekanoids channel. I really appreciate all of your views and all of your subscriptions. Until next time, have a great day.